Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who teach and rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing forth this doctrine amongst the four winds with truth and sincerity. To you, I say Shalom. It's your brother Parathon back at it with another lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. I'm just going to jump into Lamentations 5 just to touch on the curses a bit and bounce around. I'm gonna let the spirit deal, man. We just gonna get right to it. It's Lamentations 5, starting from the top. Remember, O Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach going into the curses. Continuing, this is verse 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Yeah, because we don't own anything here in Babylon. In spiritual Egypt, we don't own anything, man. We don't own land. We don't own the cars we drive. We don't own the houses we living in. We don't even own our children. You know what I mean? This continuing into verse 3, it says, well, to land back off of that, not only do we not only do we not own anything, man, and we're strangers in this land, strangers in our own land, I would say. And it says our houses to aliens, because our homeland, Jerusalem, is being inhabited by them heathens, man. Them Ashkenazi Jews who don't belong there. So our houses are to aliens, to strangers. It says, continuing in verse 3, it says, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. That's, pursuing the Deuteronomy 28 and 54, I believe. That goes into this. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 54, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be ill toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, which I'm going to bring out again in this verse in a few, I'm going to have to make a point, but continuing, because, we're orphans over here and fatherless. And that's twofold, because as a nation, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai turned his back on us because we turned our back on him. We broke that blood contract and transgressed the laws. So the Lord, he didn't leave us. He didn't forsake us for eternity. You know what I'm saying? But, he turned his back on us for a little bit, so we could feel that. To put it like this, man, brothers in the know, we feel that presence that's gone. We know what it's like, we know what it's like not putting Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai first, man. Just speaking on how we was moving and operating in the world. Now that we're back, into this fold, Thawadi Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and Lord willing, we those men, because we don't know. But, just being given the little bit of knowledge and wisdom and understanding of these scriptures, you come to an understanding, that, not only do you accept your captivity, accept that you're a slave here in this land, in this strange land, but you realize how much of a power, how much of our, how much of an importance it is to, call on our power, man. How much of important it is, to know those names and how much power they hold. Continuing into verse 4, it says, we have drunken our water for money, and our wood is sold unto us. So we got to pay for water. That's pretty plain. We got to pay. There was at a certain point in time, when you see water is free in most countries. Maybe what you might deem those third world countries, and it might not be clean water, but it's free. We pay for the delivery. We pay for the pumping and piping to the houses, to the residences, and we pay for the sanitation of the water. We pay for the fucking bottle. You know, in ancient in olden times, you know, there would be like a water cart man to collect the water in the barrels and deliver the water to your doorstep. You know, and I believe there's still similar services that still exist, you know, in this present day, probably over in the UK, London, and etc. But you know, we're paying for that bottle, man. We're paying for that brand, and the fact that we have to pay for it, man, is and the shit's not even clean. You know, reverse osmosis. They done filtered the water out, but filtered all the minerals out of that shit. You know, we don't have clean air. We don't have clean water. The food is shit. You know, continuing in verse 4, it says, our wood is sold unto us. Now, you could use wood for what? You could use wood for building houses. You know, you could use wood for you know, building tables, bed frames. Wood is a necessity. And we have to pay for that. Wood is also considered like a fuel. You can burn wood to keep you warm. It's an energy source. We're paying, we're paying for energy. You know what I mean? All these things that should be free, we're paying for. Because why? We're oppressed. We are oppressed, man. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminoles, West Indian, Haitians, we are oppressed. You Israelites, we are oppressed over here in Babylon, man. This is a prison camp for us. This verse 5, it says, our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Fucking working them paycheck to paycheck jobs, you know, being persecuted. You know, out here getting shot down by the police. You know what I'm saying? When the white mob can just storm the Capitol, you know, thousands, we talking, you know, tens of thousands of people over there, man, and four people die. Man, we persecuted, man. We labor and we have no rest. Working 3 and 4 fucking jobs. I remember coming up, man, my mom had 3 jobs, always. You know what I'm saying? We always was at a babysitter. No sleep. You know what I mean? Just doing it. When I came of age, I started working. You know what I mean? Working it to the point where, you know, we all understand that, brothers. Everybody that got a job, they got a good job or that work, or whether you doing your own thing, you know, you're not working for Esau. You know what I'm saying? While we here in this captivity, we're going to labor and we're not going to have rest. You know what I mean? Working 80 hours, 100 hours a week and still barely making it. We are oppressed, man. There ain't no way around this shit. We oppressed. It's verse 6. It says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Esau. You know, they're satisfied. They're profiting off of our persecution, off of us being oppressed, man, and have been since the beginning of time. Shit, since our first captivity, and even before that, because there were many captivities before Babylon. You know, the ancient Babylon, Salakia. But you brothers get the point, man. It's verse 8, Salakia, verse 7. It says, our fathers have sinned and are not. Our ancestors have sinned and are not. So our ancestors are not here. We are. It says, and we have borne their iniquities. You know? So off the simple fact, you know, this cuts a lot of you Christians, man. It cuts a lot of people that don't believe in reincarnation. You know? The ancestor, you know, Esau's back in reincarnation, and he's still reaping the benefits off of his forefather, you know, oppressing us. Who is ultimately the sword, the left hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that's his job. But you know, us being on this side, us Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, we're being oppressed, man. You know, we're born into the iniquities of our fathers, just like Esau is born into the benefits or the blessings, which he would consider, which is low level, but he's born into that. He's born with a silver spoon in his fucking mouth. He's born into wealth. You know, that's just the way it's set up. It's the last captivity, though, brothers. It's verse 8. It says, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hand. Who are these servants? Fucking Esau being the main one. But all these other heathen nations that were created for our sakes along with the earth. They are fucking servants, man. The scriptures, our servants have ruled over us. I have seen princes. I have seen princes walking and servants on horseback, for lack of better words. This shit's ass backwards, man. And the deeper you get into it, the more, you know, the more it vexes you, man. The oppressive, it says, oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. We are oppressed, man. There is no way around this oppression. You see Jake, though, wicked Jake, these 2/3, you know, they're good with the American freedom. They're good with this carnal freedom. You know? That shit ain't enough. We want the fucking, you know what I mean? We want everything Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai promised us. Thus saith the scriptures, man. We want the new bodies. We want rulership. We want dominion. We want the universe. We want slaves. We want rest, man. And it's all coming, man. These prophecies is unfolding, man. These prophecies is popping like popcorn, like the elders like to say. You know? We living in them times, man. It says, let me jump back up. It says, verse 3, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. There's a statistic, man. I believe it was in 2019, there's about 4 million black families in the United States with a single mother. You know, which was an increase from the 90s. You know, in the 90s there was about 3.5 million black families with 3.5 million single parent households, which happened to be mothers. That jumped up substantially. So, you know, these are the curses, man. We are cursed, man. We are under the curses, I should say. You know, because, you know, Lord willing, we be those men. You know, we were claimed from the beginning, so to speak. Called from the beginning. Coming back into our lot. Lord willing, we be those men. I'll probably do another video on these curses, man, because, you know, there's a lot of different curses you can go into. These ones in particular in Lamentations, the 5th chapter, I came across. I haven't read it in a while, so I figured, you know, Abaratazah, the spirit was on me. Lord willing, this lesson was edified. And I'm going to say, Barakathia Yahweh, Barakathia Yahweh Shai, Barakathia Yahweh, Barakathia Yahweh Shai, Barakathia Yahweh, Barakathia Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and great millstone who do teach and rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Akim, Kwam Yasharallah.